Could this be the year we finally see two parades in Denver? This is your Denver Sports Daily for April 17th.
The biggest stories, the latest news. It's Denver Sports Daily.
With the Avs and Nuggets each going to the playoffs once again, what are the chances we finally get to see two parades in Denver? Now, the case for the Avalanche can be made much easier. They're one of the best teams in the league right now, and after all the moves that they made this season, they could honestly win this Stanley Cup with ease. There's not much holding this team back, to get back to the top of the mountaintop. And on top of that, they're entering the playoffs as healthy as possible. Plus, Gabe Landeskog could make his return in the NHL, which would be a huge boost for the morale of this team. They've got everything going right for them. The Avalanche, again, much easier case to be made for them than the Nuggets. Now, right now, their odds to win it all are set at plus 800, which is the fourth best behind Carolina, Vegas, and Florida. And if they can make it past Dallas in this first round, there's no team that can stop them. Dallas is one of the best teams in the league, and if they can go out there and get a, not easy win, but if they can handle them in 4 or 5, even don't make it go to 6 games, but if you can handle them easily, there's nobody stopping this team from winning it all. The Avalanche are favorites in my eyes. The two best goalies that they've had in a long time are between the posts. They've made so many moves, getting Marty Netchis, Jack Drury, Brock Nelson are just some of the big names that they've gone out and got that are going to lift them over that hump and bring them back to the Stanley Cup. Now, the Nuggets, on the other hand, that's going to be a harder sell. I've stood firm on the belief all season that this team can win a championship. With the major changes that have happened this past week, though, it's going to be a bit harder. It's going to be a tough battle for the Nuggets. Losing Michael Malone is one thing, but losing Michael Malone 3 games before the postseason is a whole different ballgame. It's hard to tell how this team is going to perform without their head coach and that their head coach that they've had for the past 10 years. It's a totally different team. But if they can go out and get a win in the first series against the Clippers in 5 games, they could break through the barrier and go all the way. Now, winning the series in the least amount of games is the most important thing. If they go to 7, they'll exhaust themselves and likely will lose in the second round. They're not going to go far if they exhaust themselves on a team like the Clippers. The Clippers are a good team. But, you see how other teams are around this league. They're harder. They are bigger and they are badder. You don't want to go against OKC and, be tired from the Clippers because OKC is young. They're athletic. They're going to want to win just as much as the Nuggets, if not more. And if you do get to the finals and you're going against a team like the Cavaliers or the Celtics or even the Milwaukee Bucks, those are going to be strong, non-fatigued teams that are going to want it more than the Nuggets. Because you look at the past, the Celtics, they're wanting they want to win 2 in a row. The Bucks want to get back on the mountaintop. The Cavaliers want to prove that they can do things without LeBron James. What do the Nuggets have to prove? They should want to prove that they don't need Michael Malone to win. So if they can go out there and prove to be a good team and get a win in 5 games against the Clippers, they can go back and win it all. Now, the Nuggets' odds to win are set at plus 3,800, which is the 8th in the league behind the Thunder, Celtics, Cavaliers, Lakers, Warriors, Knicks, and Clippers. Now, if you look at that list, there are some that stand out. The Thunder, Celtics, Cavaliers, sure. Those guys can be above the Nuggets. The Lakers, though, the Warriors, and the Clippers, the Lakers, fair, sure. They got Luka Doncic. You could contest that. But the Lakers don't have better odds in my eyes to win over the Nuggets. The Warriors just had to win a play-in game to get into the playoffs. They should not be high. This is one of those things that you've seen with the Suns in the past years where they're looked at much higher than they should be. The Warriors dynasty is over. It's over. Get over it. It's not there anymore. The Warriors should not be higher in the rankings to win the finals than the Nuggets. And then the Clippers. The Clippers are a falling team. The Kawhi Leonard experiment hasn't worked. As much as I love Kawhi Leonard, it doesn't work. James Harden hasn't proven to be a winner. James Harden can't win at the highest level. And you can make that same case for Russell Westbrook on the Nuggets. But the difference between Russell Westbrook and James Harden is that Russell Westbrook has been moved into a bench position where he's not expected to lead the team. Same can't be said for James Harden and the Clippers. Now, if you combine the odds for both of these teams to win, you're looking at 350 to 1 odds. So it's looking like it'll be unlikely for both these teams to win and have 2 parades in Denver. But it's always possible that this could be the first year we get to see 2 parades in the Mile High City. It would be so much fun to see. I mean, what more could you ask for with things trending up for the Broncos? Both these teams going back to the playoffs again. This is the golden age to be a Denver fan, honestly, all around the board. Hopefully one of these 2 teams can go out there and prove that they are still on top of the mountain, that, this is where legends are. This is where champions come from. It'd be a lot of fun to see. And of course, the playoffs are starting for those 2 teams on Saturday. I'm going to be tuned in. You're not going to be able to pull me away from my TV this weekend at all. It's going to be a lot of fun. Playoffs are finally here. Now, moving on, one former CU Buff superstar doesn't like the timing of Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter's jersey retirements. Buffalo alumni and Denver Sports' own Philip Lindsay spoke about the jersey retirements on the drive yesterday and didn't agree with the timing of the decision. Here's the clip of Philip Lindsay sounding off on the controversy. Take a listen.
The Colorado Buffaloes' decision to retire Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter's jersey, it's not about Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders. They're great players. Travis Hunter's for sure going to have his jersey retired no matter what. It's about the timing. And even for Shedeur Sanders, you can have an argument. But it's the guys before them. It was the guys before me. It's the guys that we stand on their shoulders, that they deserve that moment as well. The Darian Hagans, okay, the Deion Figures, the Daniel Grahams, those guys, and there's so many more. I feel disrespectful for even not listing all of them. There's about 30 more that deserve to have their jersey retired. If we sat here and retired everybody's jersey, there would not be any jerseys out there to play with because they're all retired. So for me, it's just all about respecting history, respecting the guys before us. They bled on the football field, they cried on this football field, and we all looked up to. That's all I'm saying is have some respect for those guys.
Now, I agree with 2 parts of what he's saying. First, I agree that the timing isn't great. These guys haven't even been drafted yet, and they're already getting more respect than some of the CU greats who created the foundation of this program. But the other part that may contradict what I just said is that Travis Hunter was going to get his jersey retired anyways. That's what he said right away, early. Travis Hunter was going to get it anyways. I mean, he won the Heisman. He put up incredible numbers on both sides of the field. And retiring his jersey after that season isn't a bad decision. Honestly, in my eyes, retire his jersey right away. This guy has already cemented himself as one of, if not the best player in program history. Now, a different case can be made for Shedeur. He's clearly one of the best QBs this program has ever seen. I love the guy, but I think, overall, the way he plays is outstanding. But did he really deserve a jersey retirement? He never really won anything for this program. Did he? Did he really actually go out and win for this program? Sure, he brought him to the bowl game. He brought him to a bowl game, got him ranked 2 seasons in a row, brought him back from the dust. I get that. But did he deserve a jersey retirement? I don't know. I can't answer that. It's subjective. Some people may think he did. He had an outstanding season, one of the best in program history for a quarterback. He's going to be a star quarterback in the league. But was it too premature? Yes, it was premature, at least premature for Shedeur Sanders. You can make an argument for Travis Hunter. He deserved it. I really agree that he deserved it. But Shedeur was a little bit early. Now, the decision to retire their jerseys would have gone much better if they had retired some of the legends who had played for this program before the 2 players who haven't even taken an NFL snap yet. Now, I'll stand on that one. You got to respect the greats first before you respect the 2 new guys who are coming in. Sure, they made a splash. They put this team back on the map. You can argue that as much as you want. It is true. They brought this team back from the dirt, from the ground, from dead. And they made it something new. They're an entirely new team now. But retiring their jerseys right after their season, before they even get drafted to the NFL, it just doesn't seem fair to some of the greats who really built the foundation of this program. Now, that's going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I do want to read some of your comments. 3 championships in Denver. It would have worked if we got to see the Broncos go to the Super Bowl. But, hey, didn't work this year. There's always next year, hopefully. Good morning, Joey. Good morning, Michael. But that's going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I'll be back with you guys again tomorrow. Tomorrow, the last day before playoffs start for the Nuggets and Avalanche. We're going to be talking all about that. It's going to be insane. And then today, actually, 7 days away from the NFL draft. What are the Broncos going to do? Are they going to trade down? Are they going to trade up? Are they going to stay right there and get Omari and Hampton? I really hope that that's the case. But we'll talk about that all tomorrow. Next week, it's going to be huge. Everything is coming up so fast. It's going to be a really fun week next week. But I will see you all tomorrow. Until then, y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye, y'all.